This afternoon, presidential candidates in December 7 general elections to sign peace pact later with 9 days to the crucial election.
Also come, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo tells Vice President Dr. Mamadou Bawumia as a flag bearer with transformative ideas key to propelling this country.
A lot later, Electoral Commission announces reforms to decongest collation centers across all constituencies in the country, saying it will not allow polling station election materials to be conveyed to constituency collation centers. Details shortly.
Anyway, those are our top stories. This is News Central. I'm Kemini Amano.
And I am Mawena Igbeta. The bulletin starts right now.
This is your election command center, and in our first story, the National Peace Council will this afternoon meet political parties and their presidential candidates to sign a peace pact to ensure a peaceful electoral process with only 9 days to the crucial 2024 general elections. The agreement will require the various presidential candidates to commit to maintaining Ghana's peace before, during, and after the polls. The Presidential Peace Pact is the fourth to be signed since the 2012 general elections. By signing the Peace Pact, political parties and their leaders pledge to respect the electoral process, accept the outcome of the elections, and resolve any disputes that may arise through peaceful means. Well, in the last few weeks, we know that the opposition NDC has given some conditions to be met before it will sign this year's peace pact. In August, the NDC outlined 6 conditions for its involvement, including the requirement for the President, the Inspector General of Police, the Chief Justice, the National Security Coordinator, and the Attorney General to also sign the agreement. Now, this year's peace pact is themed Pursuing Peaceful Elections, Nonviolence, and Justice. And that's why I want to bring in now the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Gbandi. Mustafa, pleasure talking to you this afternoon here on News Central. Are you signing the Peace Pact?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to your cherished listeners. The NDC and its leader, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, have always remained an embodiment of peace as far as our democratic practices are concerned. We have stated the last meeting we had with Peace Council, the NDC clearly outlined some of the unresolved issues upon which we are hesitant to sign and peace pact, because we believe that the real architect of our peace process must be brought to the table. We must all commit to professionalism. We must all commit to ensuring that for once the right thing is done. At the back of this, the NDC is having hanging of stars of 8 people that were killed in the 2024 election. And we do not, 2020 election, we do not want a repetition of same. And so leadership of the party with the flag bearer will today be at the Peace Council meeting. We'll discuss the existing resolved and unresolved issues, and we'll take a decision at that level.
Right. So, Mustafa, as it stands now, the NDC is uncertain about whether or not it will sign the peace pact that all the political parties will be putting their signatures to later this afternoon. Is that the case?
Well, I do believe that clearly some of the things were done. They have increased the number of signatures who will be committed to the process. and also because it represents a symbolism to be characterized by our commitment for a peaceful election. We don't think that there are clearly extreme issues that we cannot resolve at this point, because we have come a long way with the Electoral Commission.
So Mustafa, you will sign the peace pact because certain conditions have been met.
It will be for His Excellency, the flag bearer, who is the leader of the party, and the General Secretary, who will be at that meeting, depending on the conversation, will take a decision that will represent the image of the party, that will represent our commitment into the party, because I don't think that the peace pact sacrifices our ability to be vigilant in the election. I do not think that the peace pact is telling us to go and sleep when the NPP is doing something wrong. No, we want to see President Akufo-Addo really committed to ensuring that there is no violence from his party against anybody in the election. No journalist must be attacked, no police officer must be attacked, no voter must be attacked, and that is what the NDC is pursuing.
I see. Mustafa, you've had the opportunity to meet the police and the IGP, you know, to be specific. Haven't you had the kind of assurances you're looking for? Haven't you got that from the IGP already?
That's why I said that the leadership of the party led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is closely reviewing the combined effect of all the discussions, and will continue seeing this afternoon. If it gets to the point where they are satisfied that our back is covered, the NPP's back is covered, why not? I believe that we will fight.
Very well, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much, Mustafa. Mustafa Gbandi is Deputy General Secretary for the NDC, who says that the party will take a final decision on whether or not to sign the peace pact this afternoon.
Still stay with matters relating to the elections, and President Akufo-Addo has touted his Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, as a flag bearer with transformative ideas key to propelling the country into the fourth industrial revolution. He campaigned for his vice at Kwewum Praeso in the eastern region as he embarked on a two-day tour of the region. The president is also expected to commission some projects while there. Let's connect with correspondent and colleague Yvonne Nikwe, who's been following the president through his journey in the eastern region. Yvonne has joined us via Zoom. Yvonne, how has the tour been in the president's home region? And take us through a bit more of what he's been saying.
Well, it's been a rousing welcome for the president as he began his two-day tour of the eastern region. He was in the Kwewu enclave meeting chiefs and residents in the area before proceeding to Oda, where he commissioned a market that was engulfed by fire over the years. He's been to the eastern region as I speak to you in Koforidua, engaging with the clergy and some traditional authorities as well. Simply, he's been courting people's attention for his vice president. He believes that his vice president has what it takes to govern or succeed him after he leaves power. Let's listen to him.
One condemning policy for so long, and then they all say, "Wo and how they buy." Now, ye pekandini bi wogana, ye pe obi a otumi sisana no. And they say, what should I say? We want people who tell only one truth, not two truths. There are never two truths in this world. There's just one truth. Tell that one truth and stand by it. And only ever. But somebody tell me no flip, flop, flop, flip, flip, flop, flop, flip. When you can be near Ghana, we want somebody who is firm, who knows where he's taking the country, and who will take the country down that road.
Yvonne, we know that the president is also expected to commission a number of projects. Could you walk us through where they are and what sort of projects he's expected to commission?
Well, in the next few seconds, or probably in hours, the president is expected to commission the rehabilitated Jackson Park in the center of Koforidua, that is the Jackson Park. This particular project was under the Ghana Sister City project done by the New Jabe Municipal Assembly. It's expected to provide the youth in this community some youth activities like sporting, health, and other issues that would help them develop the youth in this area.
Right then, Yvonne, I'm sure we'll come back to you again to get a bit more. That's my colleague Yvonne Nikwe following the president in the Eastern region. From the president to the presidential candidate of his party, that's the vice president, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. He says that the NPP has not mismanaged the economy, as has been alleged by the opposition NDC. He's been speaking as part of his tour of the Greater Accra region.
Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia was welcomed by the people of Nungua Krowo in the Greater Accra region. He was supported by some party executives and senior advisors to campaign in the constituency. Addressing supporters at a mini rally, the presidential candidate compared the NDC and the NPP on the cedi depreciation.
The NDC period of 8 years, the cedi depreciated by 74% without a crisis. 8 years, no crisis, no global crisis, no COVID pandemic, no Russia-Ukraine war, no global economic recession. 8 years, 74%. Under the NPP, as of today, after 8 years in office, with a global economic crisis, with COVID pandemic, we have depreciated the cedi by 72%, which is lower than their depreciation. So, if they say that we have mismanaged the cedi, but then they mismanaged it worse than we have, without a crisis.
Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia assured that under his presidency, he will roll out a housing policy which will translate into more jobs for the teeming youth.
NDC by TDC, they built zero houses. Yaya BLC under TDC 1,000. Under State Housing Corporation, NDC, 8 years, they built 12 houses. 8 years. In 8 years, we have built over 1,000 houses in State Housing Corporation. And he had a major housing program at the Ejuma Abre Mujina.
He appealed to the people of Krowo to vote for him.
This is still your election command center. The NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia from the Greater Accra region, is now dashing off to the Ashanti region, and that's where we're going now, because Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is now saying the NPP has not mismanaged the economy, addressing party supporters at Nungua Krowo in the Greater Accra region, which is what we've just heard. That happened last night. But I want to take you to the Ashanti region now, where we know that he is vice presidential candidate, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh, you may know him as Napo, has taken his campaign to Swami Magazine Enclave, really important area for the NPP, to spell out government's plans for them when retained. Ibrahim Abubakar is with the team. He's joined us with a bit more from Swami. Ibrahim, good afternoon to you. Obviously, Swami, a very important constituency for the NPP. What exactly are they hoping to tell the people of Swami Magazine today?
Well, exactly, he has been engaging with artisans as I speak currently. He's engaging with them. But, you know, he's telling them about the plans government has for them with regards to even the training on electric vehicles. Because just yesterday, we know Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia launched the electronic vehicles that have been brought into the country. So he said the MPP has plans to train them so that they will be able to manage these vehicles effectively. Now they even want to move from just fixing vehicles to even production or manufacturing of vehicle parts so that they will be able to get more jobs and do. Because as it stands, if their skills are not upgraded, and by 2030, with the hope all these diesel vehicles will phase out for electronic vehicles, they will be left out and they wouldn't be able to fix any vehicle. So now they are giving them all these assurance and also the assurance of reducing tax imports so that whenever they are bringing spare parts, they will be able to plan effectively and make sure that the goods will not come before they go in search of money. Let's take a listen to what Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh has been telling the artisans here at Swami Magazine.
There are 17,000 electric vehicles in Ghana. And that's why they're about it is a magazine for early training of one. It's for and then I can hold the money. It was a completed order. Omunye, those are kind of the free second-hand car free. I will change the bar. Open those ones going in. It was a hammer that picked down. About for the car, no one using it. On the Bua. The Bible as we told me, open part down the day. It is our Yashas. I don't also be the same chili garage that will be now. Say, a performance here, petrol car, or the gas cylinder out to me. In your answer, the way we are, I can't let my agent to my name was a dear. That is it in a buying I am. You that yeah, also it's here.
Matthew Opoku Prempeh is the MPP's vice presidential candidate. Ibrahim, we know that the incumbent member of parliament did not throw his hat in the ring as far as this race is concerned. It's a new kid on the ticket. Talk to us about how the race is, the parliamentary race is playing out.
Well, this constituency is a done deal for the New Patriotic Party. In fact, you know, lawyer John Darko is a new kid, but not entirely new because consistently for the past 2 elections, he has availed himself to show his intention to compete. But unfortunately, he couldn't have the opportunity to be the parliamentary candidate for the New Patriotic Party. So he's a known person, and I know the NDC has also intensified their campaign. But we look at the vote margin over the past year, since 1990. So it is going to be a Herculean task for the NDC to be able to snatch this seat. But they believe it is a done deal for them, but they are also intensifying their campaign just so they widen the margin and ensure that president or their running mates have a decisive victory here, or the presidential candidate.
Indeed, Ibrahim, it looks like, you know, your surroundings have got busy. We'll have to leave it here. Thank you so much for talking to us. Ibrahim Abubakar is our Ashanti region correspondent. He joined us from Swami Magazine.
And we're staying with the politics and the campaign trail because the NDC vice presidential candidate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman, has appealed to the people of Lekpe in the Guan constituency to come out in their numbers on December 7 and vote for the flag bearer of the NDC, John Mahama, to ensure the underdeveloped area receives development. Evelyn Tengma is with the team and joins us with a bit more in relation to what's been transpiring there. Evelyn, talk to us as to what's been happening in Lekpe.
It's less than 10 days to the elections, and of course, campaign is getting heated by the day, and the NDC vice presidential candidate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman, is currently in the Oti region from the central region. She is here for a 2-day campaign tour in the region. And just a few weeks ago, we had the national chairman of the NDC, Johnson Esedun Ketia, here to campaign. And of course, we do understand the importance of this region to the NDC. And that is the reason why the party bigwigs are here to campaign. And we do know that in 2020 elections, the people of Central Kofi, Akpafu, Lolobi, and Lekpe didn't have a representation in parliament. And this time around, what the people are saying is that they are happy that this time around they are going to vote for somebody who will represent them in parliament. They mentioned that they have some developmental challenges in the various communities or in these areas. And they talk about lack of good roads, they talk about lack of potable water, they talk about other infrastructure development in terms of education and health. And so they are happy that this time around somebody will be there in parliament to lobby for some developmental projects for these communities. And of course, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman is asking the people to vote massively for the flag bearer John Dramani Mahama and all the parliamentary candidates, so that these social amenities and basic amenities that they are asking for when the NDC comes to power, they will be able to provide them with all these things. And so basically the message is vote massively for the NDC, vote massively for all the parliamentary candidates, so that there will be developments in these areas.
That's my colleague Evelyn Tengma. We'll just continue to stay on election-related matters coming in.
Indeed, why not? It's only 9 days to the December 7th polls, and the Electoral Commission has announced reforms to decongest collation centers across all constituencies in the country. The Commission, which has been working at improving challenges or pawn challenges from the 2020 election, says it will not allow polling station electoral materials to be conveyed to constituency collation centers. This, the Director of Training at the Commission, Dr. Sribo Kweku, says will help decongest collation centers.
Learning from 2020, we read that the collation centers were congested because many people were coming there. So what the Commission has decided is that the presiding officer will be the only person who will bring the pink sheet to the collation center. Then the ballot boxes and other materials will be received by his other colleagues at the district offices, so that we reduce the congestion. Again, we are also saying that in addition to the manual collation that is supposed to be done by the return officer, which is captured in law, we are also recruiting collation officers who are statistically inclined, so they will also use the laptop to do electronic form of calculation, so that when the two are done, the manual figure will be carried or compared with the electronic one. So once they tally, then we know that we have gotten it right before we complete the necessary forms and do the declaration. So we are learning from some of the issues that came about in 2020, so that we'll get it right.
This is still your Election Command Center live here on News Central. We'll take a quick breather. When we come back, we'll bring you more election stories. Don't go away.
Allow history to be the judge of how I have served my nation. How well I have done my part in running my lap of that relay. What that verdict will ultimately be, I cannot say. I can only say that I have done my best, giving my all.
In almost 8 years, what is the verdict of this proclamation?
One day on television, I will kneel down and say, Mahama, I am sorry. And someone make kafan who say, angel.
Say one day,
Mahama was an angel.
Mahama Kafra. Maybe hearing this in you, but I stand for the truth. Mahama, sorry.
Oh, I'll take this opportunity to apologize to the former president. I mean, His Excellency John Mahama.
And yesterday, I was bold to apologize to President Mahama because he's a fine gentleman.
Corruption, Nanaba Wire times 10. Mahama, this year, the Facha Ghana for the Facha and the Facha.
The 5 years so up at your mama chopper, but no physical. Maybe the Japan show. My body baby, the mama, my body baby.
Missing someone making kafa Mahama who part that time you piece of Mahama you come forward you say, not Mahama angel.
You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo Paint. Superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo Paint. Simply
Hey, Cha, once again, you are welcome. Hey, how is my nephew?
By God's grace, he's well. He's the reason why I came here today. Opa, thank you for sending us money the last time. It was very useful. As I sent it to your nephew in school to be buying food small. You already know the feeding challenges with free SHS these days. He's already home for vacation, and I need some help to enroll him in private classes.
But he just left for school a few weeks ago. I mean, as for this, your traffic light system, I don't understand. And we have to cough money for extra classes in this economy.
Look, it's unfortunate the way we are playing with the future of these children.
Yes.
This free senior high school program needs to be improved. And that is where John Mahama comes in.
They say he's coming to cancel the free SHS when he comes home.
How can the person who started the progressively free SHS program cancel it? Rather, he is going to maintain and improve it by abolishing the double track system, providing dedicated source of funding, and include the private senior high schools in the program. You know, he's also going to decentralize and improve the food procurement to make sure that our children can eat good food while they're in school.
Echa, money can breathe.
I'm going to campaign for John Mahama because I want quality free SHS for my children. Enough of the traffic lights.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Luckiest. Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere.
8K.
Hey, you can get an 8K. Get a packing so you can one line. Hey, wait.
You can put it on his tab. This is my man.
Good luck.
Bill
radio. We are star 712. It's much more phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here. You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let's choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
No, maybe straight to option 4. Now we try. You need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5. Baby, give me your 5 numbers. And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey,
there, tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The
luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Afro-frontal on the ballot paper. Don't look left. Don't look right. Share Asiona. Vote for Alan Kojo Chamantin. Afro-frontal movement for change for a better Ghana.
This festive season, it's time to go big and go loud, because with GoTV, Bronya City. From match days and movie days to local stories, big little adventures.
Really?
It's unmatched entertainment for the whole family.
Yes.
GoTV brings the joy anytime, anywhere. Get your festive season sorted. Get GoTV.
Papa Sammy, I beg if you find something small, give us.
Bro Sammy, you see, nobody say boys no one do nothing and just they rely on handouts. Just no deal.
I understand your hassle. Hope they come. John Mahama, they come do the National Apprenticeship Program where he go sort you guys.
Brother Sammy, wait till that.
John Mahama knows say no be everybody wey won't work for office.
Like me.
That one day is true.
Under the National Apprenticeship Program, young men and women where they won't learn craft will be enrolled under the program and attached to a senior craftsman who will train them for free.
I beg you, mechanic day inside. Me like this, I don't want to learn mechanical, but the course no.
Mechanics day inside. Organizing, dressmaking, fabric making, catering, hairdressing, tiling, painting. What they even sweet about this whole thing, they say, when you plead, the NDC government go make sure say they go give you certificate where you go fit take go look for job anywhere.
Oh, that's be one waffle.
Another one waffle thing be say, when you plead, the NDC government go set you up with startup capital and equipment to make sure you can start your own business.
Wow! I dey go shop in my town wait 7th December.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
My brothers and sisters, at a time when we are suffering due to the bad policies of the Baumia-led economic management team, leading figures of the NPP like Chairman Wontumi are destroying our water bodies in search of gold to satisfy their greed. To add insult to injury, they openly brandish their ill-gotten wealth which they acquired from poisoning our water bodies in our faces and mock us on top of it.
When your friend gold, when your friend gold, when you teso, sikakoko, etinya kata noa, ya wono, ena Ghana enya siko. What you say? When your friend gold, what you say? And it's a solid money. What you say? Sas kana yeno. What you say? Solid money. Solid. What you solid money? Mami Fabiamu asa chiraw. Solid money. I'm talking about solid money. What you say? Eje kasa Wontumi was sika. Anya bango. Anya gold. And it's all good here. I can't watch me. Mami Fabiamu crash. Mami Fabiamu. Solid money. We are talking about solid money. Solid money.
To stop this impunity, you and I must vote for change on December 7. Even Kennedy Japan of the NPP is calling for change.
I'm telling you, the situation we are in now, Ghanaians don't need change. Change needs Ghanaians.
Repeat that, please. Ghanaians don't need change.
Ghanaians don't need change.
Change needs
us. It means that we've gone past change. The situation is worse. That the change itself now is saying that please come and let me change you. Yes. And when you talk to people, they all admit that we need change.
Vote wisely and vote John Mahama.
And you're welcome back to News Central, but we're still staying on your election command center, where the National Election Security Task Force has been meeting with organized labor and other stakeholders to provide insights into steps taken towards elections and the state of the security agency's pledge to work within the rule of law. The National Election Security Task Force also, as promised, has set up a media center at the police headquarters for its engagement with the media and the public during the December elections. Having declared its readiness to oversee a violent-free process, the task force is ready for a comprehensive security watch during the polls with a series of pre-election engagement with key stakeholders. Let's touch base with Christian Nyale, who's been sitting through one of such stakeholder engagements from the police headquarters. He's joined us. Chris, you've seen the place. Let's start with this media engagement center. Talk to us about it and the components therein.
Exactly, Eric. And so this is a newly built facility or center here at the police headquarters, especially when you come to the Public Affairs Directorate. That section, that is where you see this security task force built. It is a white tent. And just when you get to the entrance, you see boldly written on the entrance, National Election Security Task Force Press Center. When you enter, you see air conditioners fitted in the room to maintain a very appropriate temperature, room temperature for persons who would be operating in that room. There is a public address system, what you would call a PA system, i.e. speakers and microphones are there. there are also chairs around with a woolen carpet that is spread all on the floor or on the ground in that tent or in that room. And so I engaged the IGP briefly off camera, who tells me that they are going to run this center throughout the election. So that is going to be the main source of contact or point of contact for the media, the police, or the task force is going to engage the media as well as the public on everything concerning security during the elections and even thereafter. And so it is actually the first day, or this is the first day that the place is being used for this engagement between the security task force and the business community. I would say that it looks very great with, adequate lighting inside to aid all operations there. Eric.
And outside of the center and the activities expected some 9 days away, we know that the police has been meeting the Ghana Union of Traders Association as well. What's been on the table for discussion?
Exactly. As we talk right now, they are having a closed-door meeting, and so the media have been allowed to go out or to excuse them for that closed-door meeting. But it's not even GUTA alone. We have seen the Association of Ghana Industries. We also have GUTA as well, and almost everyone that forms part of organized labor is here, together with an officer from the Electoral Commission, the person of Dr. Sribo Kweku, who is the Director of Training for the Electoral Commission. I've also seen a couple of them, even including lawyer Kwame Jantua, who are all here meeting the security. But what has been the conversation really, especially from the Ghana Immigration Service, has been the fact that they are going to secure Ghana's borders from unlawful entry by any forms of miscreant who may want to come to destabilize or disrupt the peace in the country. And one funny thing has been what the Ghana Prison Service has been saying by saying that, for instance, they don't have adequate rooms to be accepting new clients or new persons into the prison service. And so they are actually encouraging the business community to discipline themselves, especially their members, to understand that really the outcome of the elections is about them. If it goes well and the country is stable, their businesses will thrive. And if there is no peace, they cannot operate. And so they should cooperate. The business community actually has accepted this form of cooperation and has pledged to ensure that there is peace. Dr. Humphrey Ayimdake has been speaking on their behalf, and he says that this is a strong partnership that they are going to, build going forward, and they are ready to collaborate in ensuring peaceful, transparent, and free elections going into December 7, Eric.
Then, Christian, always appreciate the details. That's my colleague Christian Yale from the Ghana Police Services headquarters, where he tells us a series of meetings lined up between the police hierarchy, the Electoral Commission's Director of Training, and then the respective trade unions, where education is being offered as well and peace is being preached at this particular point in time, Committee.
Now, the independent candidate contesting in the Ifotu parliamentary elections, Louisa Boabeng, has been remanded by the Winneba High Court, presided over by Her Ladyship Justice Miriam Ajumanjesi Jawari. The candidate, who was initially arrested on 20th November at the same court, following hearing of an election-related matter she had laid before the court. Our correspondent, Akwesi Addo, has been following this story. Akwesi, good afternoon to you, but give us a quick reminder of the story. Where and how did it start?
Okay, good afternoon. So let me throw us back to events that unfolded here at the Winneba High Court on 20th November this year. So the independent candidate, Louisa Boabeng, was clearing the Winneba High Court to injunct the December 7 parliamentary election for the Ifotu constituency. And that she has proposed that the Electoral Commission be only allowed to hold that election 3 days after the main election. So she is proposing for the election to be held on December 10th. And the reason she was saying the court to take that action was that the particulars she had filed with the Electoral Commission, that is a nomination form, according to her, were leaked into the public. And according to the facts presented in court, those documents were cited verbatim by the incumbent MP, Mr. Alexander Espanol Martin. And so, according to the candidate, it says that the Electoral Commission had this task, and so, aside from taking for the national election, they was also saying the court to take necessary action against the commission. But on that fateful day, the court decided over by her leadership, Justice Mariam Jawari, they got grant that injunction application because, according to the court, the EC had already injected the law into this public exercise. So just after the court hearing, a team of police officers who were heavily armed stormed this court premises seeking to arrest Louisa Wabing. And so it generated a heated argument between the candidate herself, her legal representative, and then the rest of the police. And so due to the attention of the court, it was in session, and so all the parties were brought back into the court, and then the judge expressly ordered that the police seize or abrogate any need to arrest the candidate and rather wait for her lawyer to present her to the police case for any investigation.
Indeed, very well, Akwesi.
And then the police took her to the police station.
Akwesi, thank you so much for the report, and I'm afraid we're out of time, and we'll leave that conversation here for now. More, though, on subsequent broadcasts. Now, the role of the media in ensuring a peaceful election is considered vital. As the December 7th election approaches, media practitioners are receiving training on how to report objectively.
With just few days for Ghanaian electorates to go to the polls and choose the next president and members of the 9th Parliament, the Ghana Journalists Association and the Electoral Commission are training media personnel on electoral laws and processes to aid them in accurate reporting.
Even as people are talking about tension, there's uncertainty, and we must be the institution that must ensure that there's calm, there's peace, and there's hope in the country. And if we are going to do this well, it will depend on the way and manner we report or we do our job very professionally.
We also want to ensure that our media is not used to foment trouble. Our stations and our writing, whatever we do, we don't create conflict. So we are here to ensure that we have a peaceful election.
The Ashanti Regional EC Director, Osensia, entreated the media to be objective in the discharge of their duties and allow the Commission to declare the results.
On that day, we want you to be impartial, be reporting as a professional. Please don't declare the presidential elections for us.
Staying with elections now, and you know it's 9 days left for Ghanaians to go to the polls to elect the new leaders to steer the affairs of the nation. Some residents of Cape Coast say the current economic status and the state of development in the region is what they will consider in deciding who to vote for to be their next member of parliament or the country's president. Thomas Khan has been engaging with a number of them and been gauging their mood as well ahead of the elections. Let's try and connect with him right now to get an understanding of what they've been telling him. Thomas, talk to us. The number of people you've spoken to, what are they telling you?
Well, so what they are telling me is that we are going to consider the current economic status and how much they are going to spend, how much they are going to.
Thomas, it does appear there's a challenge being able to hear you properly, but let's take a listen to what they've been telling Thomas, and then perhaps we can try and get a better audio connection to Thomas Khan. Here's what the residents of Cape Coast have been telling him.
A few days, me at and then I said, I can one and I can go to a man, and I will take about the minimum.
What of what for it? I was also my time by 1 year. But when you're been, I don't know. Free education, Munya could be. Moses Nunya, no man could be. It's the best answer you are trying to do. More call.
Tepede, and not to a nana oracle.
Anna, number one, I'm this
And so, unfortunately, just one person appears to be a challenge in being able to properly get access to Thomas Khan. It will take us on to our next break for the bulletin. When we return, a bit more stories for you here on News Central. Please do stay. And just like that, the bulletin comes to an end on the Thursday edition of News Central. I am Mawina Egbeta.
And I'm Kemeni Amana. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.